but if I happen to miss anything... Whoa. That was the closest I've gotten so far. Hello everybody and welcome back to 539 once again. So this adventure brings us to a very small town known as Junction, Ohio. We had to take this kind of a creepy looking back road all the way behind these houses to find this little graveyard back here. And it looks incredibly historic, looks a little bit decayed, not really too terrible. I kind of think I saw a few things in the woods. I'm not really 100% sure on it, but we're going to certainly find out. Let's go. There's already somebody pulling in. Okay, cool. They're just kind of going in the... Not that I'm paranoid already, but I kind of also like to film these places alone so that I don't have to worry about getting other people on film. So already directly behind the car here, we have a few really old looking ones. Looks like 1825 to 1914 and 1825 to 1908. That's incredible how they all match up. Or both of them, I should say. I'm already hearing gunshots. No names on this one. That's kind of interesting. So it kind of got destroyed. Looks like it used to be a bluebird. Whoa, that has some really interesting carvings on it. Somewhere I'm actually hearing a very similar noise. It sounds like a rusty gate, and if you saw one of my recent adventures where I was in a cemetery in the middle of a nature preserve, I was looking around there for a similar noise and never found anything. So, very interesting. already hearing more and more weird noises here. This could be a really bizarre explorer, I don't really know. I think that's deer over there. It just jumped into the brush and then disappeared. This memorial here is actually in a fairly precarious position. You can see directly above it here are some fairly large limbs, and you can kind of tell that they've been cut at some points, so hopefully they'll be back out to do more work so that it doesn't come down directly on top of this memorial here and cause some damage. And head over this way, check out this smaller section over here. It looks like there's some stuff that's actually fallen down the hill here. I'm gonna have to figure out a way around the thorns though. I don't know. The chunk of concrete looks like it could have been a base stone, but it's kind of hard to tell exactly what this is here. I don't know. If you know what that is, let me know in the comments. It could be something where a metal plaque would have been placed in here, and maybe the memorial was replaced over the years. And just 3 little memorials here. And one Civil War veteran right at the edge of the road. And a dog somewhere. I think there's actually a tractor in the field. It seems kind of late in the season. And there is another section. There's this big sort of empty space ahead of me, but then on down the road is another section that butts up against the houses. Well, here's something else too. Definitely some hunting going on somewhere. This is way too overgrown. The thorns and everything have just grown around it, so it's actually kind of hard to even clear the leaves off to tell exactly what it is. what this is over here. I think this might just be pieces of cement that have been used to sort of reinforce an underground drainage pipe. Also looks to be part of a junk pile. This looks like the section where whatever maintenance workers that work here put the replaced stones or piles of unused cement. But behind here is another section, so we'll continue along to that. It looks like we're in a little family section here. I know at one time this would have been standing up, obviously. Can't put it in too hard. I don't want to break it. You can see how close it gets to these people's houses up here. I think one of the buildings is a maintenance building though. Whoa, that scared me. A bird actually just flew out of that tree. These are actually getting fairly close to the edge here. Let's go ahead and go around the other direction. Wow. Luckily, it doesn't look like anything's further down. You can see a wall that's been put in place here so that it protects these few graves over here from the erosion damage. And it doesn't seem to be getting very close, so maybe it is doing its job. So we've arrived here at the very back corner of this particular section. I am seeing one thing over here. It looks like just an old base stone. I'm not seeing anything further on down the hill. It's looking pretty clean down there as well. There are a few stones and things lining the edges of the creek, but no appearance of being a memorial of any type. And it looks like a fairly newer section up towards the maintenance shed here, but everything over in this direction appears to be pretty historic, but really damaged. Before we go that way though, I want to check out these here, which I think is just, looks like one or two memorials here that have been severely broken up. You can see a date there of 1869. Another discarded base stone here. Hard to tell if maybe in this very large debris pile here there might be the actual memorial, but heavy damage in this area, as you can tell. Seems to have two memorials. It might be a military provided memorial and then a privately installed section here. The ground is so hard this time of year. And then what's really hard to see a lot of times is that there's a few things just laying flat in the grass here. And even one way over in the corner here, right in front of this crazy looking old, not really abandoned RV, but it's certainly probably not working anymore. I think whoever's shooting is just doing target practice. So heading up, looks like this is going to be the final row of historic stuff here, and somebody actually has pulled in. I think it's somebody just visiting, because they are heading towards the newer section here, but so far they've just been driving around. So, to be determined. Here's our maintenance shed here. I can't tell which direction the car went in. Alright, it did leave. It's kind of a good thing. I didn't really want it to be way back with my car, not to be paranoid again, but you never can tell. And to be some distance from the car and not be able to do anything about it would not be good. gunshots are getting closer, it seems to me. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and head back towards the car. Looks like we've hit pretty much everything historic here for the most part, at least a really, really good portion of it. And I obviously can't get everything in these places, especially when they're this size. But if I happen to miss anything... Whoa. That was the closest that it's gotten so far. But I think I'd know by now if they were aiming in this direction. I'd probably hear some of the shells land. Or not shells, but the bullets land. And I think from the sound of it, it's probably a shotgun, although I'm not incredibly knowledgeable on that sort of thing. I've only fired a few shotguns in my life. But once again, it did seem to be somebody kind of just checking on me. They spent less than 2 minutes, drove around only in the section that I was currently in, and then headed on out and left to wherever they were going. So it's either that or that person just regularly does rounds in this place just to check on security. It did look like there must have been memorials in here at one time, or a building of some sort. Back in this empty section, I noticed what typically marks off a family section, and appears that it would have one time have continued on around. It's hard to tell now, but there is small pieces of it here and there. So there would have been something here. I suppose it could have been an old maintenance shed though. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. So thank you very much for joining me on this adventure. Remember that if you are enjoying the journey, make sure you give it a big old thumbs up and make sure you subscribe and turn that notification bell on. And as always, I will see you in the next adventure.